Happy birthday to me. Never mind. As you know, it is birthday bourbon time, and every September it comes out, and we're lucky enough to get to review it this year.
I'm still lost because he was singing happy birthday at the start of this video.
Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to review the annual release of birthday bourbon from Old Forester.
Yeah, so just an hour ago, scored a birthday bourbon.
Yep.
So these are just now hitting our market here in Louisville.
Yeah.
I imagine throughout Kentucky they're going. This is a very important bottle because these get hand delivered. Like literally hand delivered from reps.
With white gloves.
I don't want to go that far. But really quick on this year's birthday bourbon, pretty much, I feel like I need to talk about it, but I don't need to talk about it. It's one of the most sought after bottles year in, year out.
Yes.
Not only just for the birthday aspect of it, like, birthday year for kids or whatever else.
Yeah.
It's popular because it's Old Forester. It is in a unique bottle. It's just all of these things.
Yeah. It looks good on a bar. It really does.
But it doesn't sit well on a shelf.
No, it doesn't sit well on a shelf, but it looks good on a bar. And regardless of whether it's good or it's bad or it's not, it's still one of the more highly sought after every single year.
Year in, year out.
And, for us, we have friends this year who have had kids or who are, several things that have taken place. And so, you want to be on the hunt, not even necessarily for myself, but for other people, because again, I've said this several times. I wish I would have been into bourbon when my kids were born so that I could have those, or even when I was married, just to have those special bottles. Mm-hmm. And I missed out on those, and I just don't want to pay the money for them. So, it is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
And so for me to have friends who are in that category, I want to be able to do that for them. So if I can, if at all possible. So
going back to this year's birthday, this is 12 years old. It's 107 proof. It was $250.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somewhere right around in there.
Somewhere right around there. We were actually very fortunate. We were given a sample from like one of the very first people to actually go get the bottle at the distillery. They opened it up. They gave us a sample. So it's had some air, because they drank out of it first or whatnot. So this just isn't a fresh crack. But, I feel like it's just not a fresh crack review. So this is kind of like with some air and stuff like that. Like we have some good potential.
And this is a step up probably by close to 10 or 12% proof. 10 or 12 proof from last year. Last year was like in the 90s. It was only like 90s.
A lot of them are around in the 90s, some mid, some high 90s. Yeah. So I don't want to say, I guess closer to 10. Yeah, 10 points.
So I think people will be a little more like anticipatory of this one in the sense of, it's 107 proof. So,
but there's also rumors that there's a lot more birthday this year than previous years.
Yeah.
So that's also kind of exciting as well. So
for sure.
If you had a kid this year, you're looking for one, there's going to be greater opportunity to get one.
Yeah, so. I agree with that.
But yeah, I have high hopes. I didn't have a kid this year, so So I'm not looking for it to be bad this year. Unlike every year where I have a kid and they turn out not to be great.
I did not have a kid this year, nor am I planning to ever have a kid again. So
I still think you need a daughter.
No, I don't. I have nieces, fake nieces, adopted nieces. I'm uncle to surrogate uncle to several girls, and that's as much as it gets.
No, my daughter's finally starting to come around.
Oh man, get excited. I love it. She likes to talk to me now, as opposed to running and crying. So I'll take it all.
The good thing about my daughter is she loves big.
Yeah.
Like she really comes at you really hard. Now, problem is though, if she doesn't like you, she's still coming at you hard.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna
for sure
mollywop you. But
hey, before we really get started in this, hit the like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Let us know if this has dropped in your area or you think it's going to drop in your area anytime soon, or if, like some things, you're never going to see this. No, I always like to hear those too. Like, we'll never see this. And that's not to make fun of you. That's just to sympathize with you. I think it's got like even.
I want you to talk about the nose before I do, because once I say what I say, I might throw you off.
Even as this has been opened up, you said like this is one of the first ones. There still feels very ethanol-y.
There is some ethanol on there. I agree.
And then there's like a little bit of apple in there. Like, to me, this smells more earthy. Like last year smelled very medicinal, and I think in a lot of ways this smells like,
but not in like a rye spice kind of way.
No, it's just kind of like dirty, not in a bad way, but just kind of like earthy. Just kind of like you go outside, you play in the dirt a little bit, and you go, that's that smell.
There's also a little bit of like a sour fruit smell to it. But it's not like it's like a rotten sour fruit.
No, not at all.
But there is a little bit of like a sour, and I know people are going to, and the reason why I didn't say this first, because I want to throw you off. People, whenever you hear sour, are going to like freak out about that, because they're like, oh, like a sour rag, or
definitely
whatever.
It's definitely no Dickel sour rag.
No,
smell.
it's definitely nothing like that.
Yeah, I think there's some, like, to me that it's like a crispy apple smell in there that really kind of stands out to me, and maybe that's why I feel like it's a little bit earthy too. Like there's just,
I think there's some buttercream in there.
Yeah,
a little bit of butterscotch, toffee, maybe like a really like if you had a coffee, but like you really put a ton of milk in that, or a creamer.
Yeah.
A little bit of that as well.
There's a bit of honey in there that I smell too.
See, I get that too, and it smells like it's like young almost to an extent. I know it's not young, because I know the age, but like that honey smell reminds me of a younger bourbon.
Yeah, right. I agree with that. Cheers! 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 Okay. Ooh, now see, that's really spice forward.
Yeah, there's a ton of spice on that. That's a spice cake.
Way more spicy than I would anticipate off the nose. Like the nose does not lend itself to being spicy in one way or at all.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Has kind of like I think when they get spicy like this, especially on the front end, I feel like it turns into like a soda, like a cola kind of on the backside of the palate. It seems to always, when that fruit, when that spice and that dark fruit is on the front end, it feels like it's almost like a cherry Coke kind of finish.
Yeah, I can see
in
that.
The palate.
A little bit of like an artificial cherry Coke.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I totally agree with the spice cake. Or did you say spice cake, or did you say spicy?
Spicy spice cake. I think you said spice cake.
Okay,
I think
to me, it's like a spice cake with like a ton of vanilla, like cream, like spread with like some syrup on there. Mm-hmm. There is some fruit on there, but there's not a lot to me. No, there's just not a ton outside of that sour fruit kind of note. You do get some like barrel influence from that. I wouldn't say it's so much oak; it's a little bit more char.
Yeah, I was going to say char, because it feels like the char on the backside. And surprisingly enough, I feel like last year's finish was not strong at all.
No, this one has a lot more finish.
The finish on this is
a lot more oak spice on that one.
Yeah, yeah. All in all, the spice forward on it isn't my jam.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like the palate.
I like this one a lot more than like the last 2 years.
Yeah, I agree with you.
This is probably, I definitely like this one a lot more than the last 2 years. There's a couple things on this though. I don't really like that sour note that I get on the nose. Yeah. Because it's starting to turn a little bit into like a sour pickle note. So I don't love that. I think the palate is actually good. Like I think the palate's much better than the nose. I just don't think the nose and the palate to me just doesn't merge very well.
To me, this feels like the palate on this feels Old Forester-ish.
I agree.
In so many ways.
I agree.
Like, it feels like if you were thinking about Old Forester and you like Old Forester barrel strength, you like some of these things that have, like, pack a little punch on the front end of it, but not the proof point that sometimes the single barrel strengths are. This would be kind of in your jam right there.
The only thing I'll say, though, is I agree with you with your Old Forester take, except for one thing. Most time whenever there's something 7 to 8 years old at least, from Old Forester, I feel like it gets a lot more fruit forward.
Yes, this isn't
fruit forward.
No, it is definitely not fruit forward. Although I didn't think it was sweet, and on that drink I just had, it felt like it was cotton candy. I got like a cotton candy taste on the palate.
Here's the other thing I'll say to you about the palate. The more you drink on it, the more medicinal kind of notes you get from it.
Maybe that's the cotton candy thing I'm talking about.
There's a little bit of a medicinal cherry note on the back end of it. Or maybe that's more of like a black cherry kind of note.
Yeah. Somewhere
in there. It feels more medicinal, though.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think we talk about this every year. There are a lot of reasons to want this bottle, and the taste of it is usually not one of them. I'm not trying to badmouth it or anything.
I really don't think it tastes terrible.
It's a fine bourbon. Like, it is a fine bourbon. And if you like Old Forester, I honestly think this is kind of like in the general realm of what you like about Old Forester, as far as like the spice forward, a little bit of dark fruit in there, but not. This one doesn't have that much, but I think the spice forwardness on it, and it's got a good finish. And usually Old Forester has good finishes, like in the sense of like it's going to stay with you. And so I think those are the aspects about it that are likable. And so again, most people are going to get this because this is a commemorative bottle for them in some way.
No.
Or they're getting it to sell it on the secondary. Whichever way it goes, I think it is what it is.
On the secondary right now, I think it's going for like between like $700 to $800.
Yeah. So like it is what it is. Like we don't like to talk about the seedy underbelly, but there's a seedy underbelly of all this, and that's fine. But most people want to find this because they had a kid, they got married, they got all, whatever thing, they had a grandkid, whatever it is. You hit your first home run, you...
No, they go get the Remus Babe Ruth bottle for that one. All right.
That Remus bottle was about the same price as this.
I would get this over the Remus.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, if we're just talking the bottle itself, this year's birthday bourbon, I don't. If you take away the sour note, I probably don't dislike it as much as I do. That sour note just turns me off. Like it's just.
I don't get the sour note, and that's usually what I will smell a sour note.
I don't love the nose on this, which is like surprising for me because that's one of my favorite parts about an Old Forester product is the nose.
Well, and the truth is as well is the palate and the nose don't match either.
It doesn't.
So in that sense,
I agree with you about the finish though. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No, go ahead.
I agree with you on the finish. Actually, I enjoy the finish, except it is turning more medicinal, so it's going to turn people off. Now, I don't mind medicinal notes. Like, I tell everybody, like, if you don't like medicinal notes, then you probably didn't like the Wild Turkey Master Keep Bottle and Bond. I love that thing. I like medicinal notes.
It's pretty tannic, too, because it's really drying.
It is.
It's drying on the backside, and it has a little bit of tobacco in there, too. So, like, all of those things.
You're very forgiving of any kind of bourbon with a tobacco note.
I am pretty forgiving of those things. So, all in all, like if this is going to be something that you're hunting for, I would say hunt for it and get it and put it on your shelf. And
the truth is, nobody's going to turn this down.
Right? Yeah, nobody's going to turn it down.
But here's also like the reality. If we're just talking the quality of it, like right now in our area, I'll just give you all an example. Right now in our area, this is coming out, hitting stores. Old Fitz 13's hitting stores. Russell's 15's hitting stores. Michter's Toasted Bourbon's hitting stores right now.
It is.
I haven't had the Michter's Toasted Bourbon yet.
No.
We both know the Russell's 15 and the Old Fitz 13's better. You going to take this? Or you're going to gamble with it? Or are you going to take this? Or you're going to gamble with the Michter's Toasted Bourbon? without worrying about resale, obviously.
Right.
You see?
You know, I'm a Michter's head, so
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna get.
If you took out that we have friends who have kids, and we took out the fact, it's just talking the quality of the bourbon.
Because we have 2 or 3 people that have special occasion stuff going on.
But take that out of the argument. We're just talking the juice.
Michter's toast.
See, I kind of feel the same way, which is what I hate. Like, in theory, this should be top notch.
Yeah.
And so, you know,
I still stand by my thing. Old Forester President's Choice is the best thing they do. 100 proof single barrels are the second best thing they do. And then everything else is whatever. From Old Forester.
Employee bottles.
Besides the bottle we don't pick up. Yep. So
anyways.
All right. Well, I hope that you all can find this. I hope you can get a chance to purchase one of these if you can, because this, to me, for the 5 or 6 years I've been into bourbon, this has always been the bottle that signified the start of real allocation season. And so
for us up here in Louisville, I agree. I think there's 2 things in the state of Kentucky that starts allocation season. Birthday bourbon release, Parker's Breakfast.
Yes.
They're both first weeks in September, roughly.
And Parker's Breakfast was this morning. So.
Exactly. So, game on.
And we did not get to go to the Parker's Breakfast. So.
No, we didn't.
All right. Well, till next time.
Heard good things about it, though.
Yeah. Till next time.
We'll see you.
We will see you.